Hey everybody, Barron from Remax here with my latest update for Milton, Georgetown, and Glen Williams for the week of September 27th to October 3rd, 2020. And just before I get to there, I'm going to talk about appraisal today. Let's see, I've sold quite a few houses lately. It's been crazy busy, which is good. That's good for a real estate agent for sure. It's been busy. Houses have gone up through the roof recently in the past 3-4 months. And then the question of appraisal comes in. I had some clients, I sold their place, and just before closing, the bank wanted to come in to do their appraisal. And my client said, why do they have to do an appraisal? They're already pre-approved. They've already got their financing. It's already a firm deal. I don't understand it. Well, the reason is, there's a couple of reasons. And the reason that I used to think a few years ago, but it's my thinking on it's kind of changed now, but it was always an excuse for the bank to make an extra few bucks just before closing. Basically, they come in, they charge the client about $300-400 for the appraisal. The appraisal takes 15 minutes, so they can squeeze a little bit of money out of the client looking for a mortgage. But to be honest and to be fair towards the banks, the reason why they want the appraisal done now is because the prices have gone up so much. They have to be completely 100% sure they know exactly what they're financing. So in other words, if a house is listed for $950 and sells for $1.2 million. The bank might come in just before closing and do their appraisal and say, you paid $1.2 million for this. That's crazy. We estimate the value at 1.1. So basically the bank is saying, we're going to finance you up to 1.1 million. You got to come up with the other 100,000. And sometimes the buyer will get that notification 2 days before closing, because the bank always wants to do their appraisal close to closing because they know the market fluctuates. So it can be a bit of I've seen it before in 2017 where the market shifted so quickly downwards. Banks weren't financing; they weren't appraised. They didn't appraise out. So you bought a house for $900,000 back then through multiple offers in say January, February, and then when it came to closing in June, by then the market had tanked, and the bank said, no, we're not going to finance $900,000. We think it's worth $800,000. So it was a bit of a messy situation for a lot of people, and it could be soon, but we'll see. Hopefully it's not. I haven't heard anything yet, which is good. So when it comes to the appraisal, if you're selling your house, just remember, even though it's a firm deal, about a week, 3 days before the actual closing date, the bank is going to want to do the appraisal, and the appraiser will be in and out in about 10 or 15 minutes. Very quickly. They basically do everything that I do as an agent, and compare your sale to the recent sales, and that's how they value the property for the appropriate financing. So anyways, that's a little bit about appraisal. I get questions about that, so I thought I'd just kind of clear it up. Okay, off to the sales for Milton and Georgetown and Glen Williams. It's been busy. It's still busy. It's slowed a little bit, but not a lot. It hasn't come down a little bit, so nothing to worry about. I can kind of sense it's starting to shift a little bit, but not a huge shift. I think it's more of a shift because of the time of year kind of thing, rather than, COVID's kicking in again a little bit, and that's kind of spooking some people a little bit, but I don't think it's anything to really be too concerned about in the short term, but who knows in the long term. It's really, can't predict, Let's see, so Milton, the week of September 27th, October 3rd, 2019, there was 39 sales. In 2020, there was 50, so good number of sales, and that was basically online with last week, and so things are pretty steady. The average detached was $1,064,000 last week. The average detached was $1,198,000, which was, like I said, was a record. I've never seen it so high. So now we're kind of back in line. The numbers get skewed. Sometimes you'll get some big properties that sell and throw everything out of whack. So that's what kind of happens. There's 28 detached sold, 7 semis sold, 15 townhouses sold. The average detached was $1,064,000. The average semi was $808,000, and the average town was $770,000. And all three of them were 5 days on the market, so they sold pretty quick. And condo sales were basically the same this week as they were last week, 540 on average, 5 sales, and pretty much the same. So the condos are still healthy in Milton, as opposed to Toronto, where they're not healthy. Deadsville, there's too much inventory. And then we get to Georgetown and Glen Williams. Busy week, not as busy as last week, but still in line. It's okay. Like everything is still doing well. 2020, there was, like this week, 15 sales, 8 last year this time. The average detached $1,099,000, 12 of them, and 3 towns. There's no semis that sold. Three towns sold for 736, 3 days on the market, and the average detached, like I said, 12 sales, $1,099,000 on average price, 11 days on the market. So things are still moving quickly, as opposed to last week. It was a little bit, more active last week. The detached sold a bit quicker. There's more sales. There's 20 sales as opposed to 20 this week, but still nothing to ring the alarm bells about. You know what I mean? So everything's okay. Anyway, so hopefully that answers a few questions. And Cliff Barron from Remax here for my weekly update for September 27th, October 3rd, 2020. Any questions, shoot me a DM, PM, email, give me a call, 416-909-6497. Always around, and I'll talk soon. And now I got to say it again, be safe.